I was using my Dowel jig the other day, made 40 3/8 inch dowels, and then I made 40 1/4 inch dowels, and that was a total fee of $172. So it was very well worth the time that it took to make. All right, took a little 2-incher off of there and put a 4-inch. Does a real good job of collecting the dust. Using a nibbler on the cutter, go through that, and a Milwaukee nibbler, and it worked pretty well. I had it all taped off, and yeah, I got on the wrong side of tape, but I still was able to cover it up, and it looks good either way. But that's how it goes. Anyway, got better collection there. While I was at it, I have used a straight lining jig through the years, and generally it was just temporary scraps. But with me doing all the milling of the lumber, sometimes I get some stuff that's got some really wild edges on it when I'm milling. I got several pallets of this, so every now and then I need to straight line something to get the most yield out of it. So made this 44 inches of a straight line jig, and it's got the toggle clamps. One of the guys on YouTube had made some, so I just went ahead and used some old PVC, or not PVC, but some of the. All right, this lantern has a lantern pillar puck at the bottom of it, and that's what's being displayed, and that's what I'm getting ready to make. And this is the process of getting through that and going in and making these. All right, I need these down to about 1 inch, so I used, of course, the feather board. Cut them along that line, and used the feather board on the outside to retrieve them. And then that left me a pretty good chunk in there, about a 2.5 inch square, maybe 2 inch square that was left. So I'm using a little 6-inch bandsaw blade to cut them out. So it's working pretty good. So let me get that done. And I don't like cutting that high on that table saw and resawing. It's kind of dangerous. And even though I had the fence up there where I kept my hand on top of the fence, it's short block. So don't like keeping my hand around that fence at all. All right, as with any prototype, you say, okay, well, I need to change about that wheel. And first off, I need to put tabs in it. And then the second thing is I need to go check it to see if it's going to fit. And I just sanded it up a little bit on the sander just to knock the sharp edge off of it, but everything else looks pretty good. I do need to make that hole just a hair bigger so that it can just slip over the top of that rod, because it's made to just be an adapter that fits over the top of it. I don't have to do anything, so I need to make that hole just a hair bigger. And we'll see how she goes. So get those out of there. You loosen that up that side, and lift that out of there. Put the next one in. There we go. Well, what always looks good on paper just sometimes just don't fit. So there I am. So now I'm taking the first prototype, as I always do, and I'm going to make it fit, even though I've got the directions, designs, just sometimes in practicality, it just doesn't fit. So I'm going to go ahead and modify a couple things here and go cut another one. Okay, that part of it's pretty good. I'm going to make the hole just a little bit bigger, and then put tabs on it and make the round just a little bit smaller. So we'll get that done. Well, let's see how we did. These take 6 minutes to cut out. 6 minutes to cut out, 2 hours to design, and then after 3 or 4 prototypes, here I go. Anyway, let me pop this out and have a look at it, see how everything's going. All right, this guy was too big to get down in there, just by a little bit. This guy fits in there. It's got about 1/8 of an inch room, but he is a little bit snug when I pull it all in tight, like that here at the top, and that. So I'm going to make this hole, this new one, a little bit smaller, increase the size of this, and I think I'll just about have it. So here we go. 2 pillar pucks is what the name of these are, pillar pucks. There you go. Let me go get that done. There's the thumb drive. I've got to go change it. All right, we're going to load that thing back up off the thumb drive. And that's the one we want. We're going to modify it just a little bit. These are the layout for this window. So these lanterns. So I make 4 at a time, but as you can see, there's quite a bit to it. Doors, jig boards, and all that stuff. So I ain't gonna bore you with all that. I've got other videos on that. Anyway, this right here is the design. I'm gonna go in here and I'm gonna make this, set the size of this just a little bit smaller. And it's 3.6. I'm gonna make it right at 3.5 inches. And we're gonna apply that. Click close. And this hole right here, we're going to make that one just a little bit bigger. So we're going to make that 4.2, 4.3. What do you say? This 4.3.3. And apply that and click close. And when we look at that hole there'll still be a little bit there, but not much, but it really won't matter as long as it's a notch. It'll stay into place either way. So we'll just see how that works. We're going to go over here and recalculate all of our tool paths, and it goes through there and it checks all the tool paths that were done inside there and gives us some warnings where things aren't quite right, and then comes back over here back to the one that we're working on, and there they are there. Let's go ahead and save these tool paths, and there they are there. We're going to save the tool paths. We're putting all 3 of them on there using the my preferred tool path. Go over to the pillar base. We're going to call it that one right there. Click save, and we're going to replace it. Yes. I'm going to click file save to save that to the thumb disk, and then I'm going to do a save as to save it to the hard drive. That's my preferred method of backing up. That way I've got a kind of a backup of it. So go over to my desktop, hit S for shark. I'll go down to lanterns, go down here to lantern for them, and save it in there. And it says it's found it. I'm going to overwrite that one file. Okay, let's go back out and cut the next one. Well, once you get your prototype down to where it works and it's going to be satisfactory and you think it's going to work for everything, you start taking some of your scraps and putting them to work. Jigging, and I just added a 2x4 to the edge of this saw up in here. See some carriage bolts, and added them up there so I can get a good clamp on it. Can't hardly clamp to an edge. So anyway, so got that and my feather board out there, my other little feather board to take the stock that's going to be retrieved from it. And there you go. Let's get this thing going. A little static buildup. I just vacuumed this tray off and that thing just jumped all over that thing. A little bit of static buildup there for sure. Anyway, there we go. Alright, finishing up on the last one. Talk it out. Go around it. Got about 3 minutes left to go. There's some puck. I got 10 pucks that I made today. I call them pillar pucks, or pillar candle pillar puck. They just slip right over the candle lantern deal, fits through that hole, and the notch fits right over it. And then you can put a pillar candle in there and it'll stand straight. There you go.